Queen Nanny is a name that may not be familiar to many, but it should be known and celebrated. She was a leader of the Jamaican Maroons, a group of formerly enslaved Africans who escaped captivity and formed their own free communities in the mountains of Jamaica. But is this all there is to know about Queen Nanny? Absolutely not. In this video, we will cover all tales regarding the history of Queen Nanny. So, let's start. Queen Nanny, also known as Granny Nanny, is a figure of formidable historical importance. Born around 1686, she emerged as an influential leader of the Jamaican Maroons in the 18th century. These Maroons were a resilient group of Africans who had managed to break free from the shackles of slavery and establish their autonomous communities nestled in the rugged mountains of Jamaica. There are several other aspects of Queen Nanny's life that further illuminate her rich narrative. According to Maroon legend, which the Maroons of Escapen town firmly believe, Nanny was born into the Akan people in the Blue Mountains of Jamaica. There's also a hypothesis that she might have hailed from West Africa. Her father, who was among 600 Akan people on a trading venture with the Spaniards, was betrayed and sold into slavery in 1642. Ultimately, they managed to escape, seeking refuge in the Blue Mountains. Here, they met the Taino Maroons, who had resided there since Columbus. Yet, interestingly, Nanny is more commonly associated with the Moortown Maroons in the east, rather than Accompong in the west. This discrepancy stems from the fact that Maroons, much like most Africans, often worship their ancestors and incorporate them into folktales, leading to numerous origin stories. In one such tale, Nanny arrived in Jamaica as a slave, but managed to escape, potentially even leaping from the ship while it was still offshore. Her sister Sekessu, however, was enslaved. In Maroons' oral tradition, it's believed that Nanny became the symbolic mother of all Maroons, while Sekessu, who eventually died free in the mountains alongside Nanny, became the mother of all the enslaved in Jamaica. Further variations of her story suggest that Nanny was a free woman, potentially even a slave owner herself. Some narratives even claim that she was of royal African descent, possibly married to a Maroon man named Adu, with whom she had a son, Kwashkwaku. Relatives of poet John Aggard even assert their lineage from Nanny. One Maroon legend introduces a new name associated with Nanny, Sarah Matilda Rowe, although this has yet to be confirmed. The Rowe family in Jamaica claims direct descent from Nanny, stating that her second husband was named Sweplamento, later known as Rose Harris, or affectionately, Pa Rose. It's also claimed that Nanny was known as Shanty Rose, or Ma Rowe, with Rowe eventually anglicizing to Rowe. Many Maroons in the late 18th century changed their African names to European ones as they converted to Christianity, and it's suggested that Nanny was known by the name Sarah or Matilda. Oral history maintains that she had 3 children with Sweplamento, 2 sons, Kojo Rowe and Apong Rowe, and a daughter named Nanny. The 18th century Jamaica saw the rise of a strong community led by Queen Nanny and her supposed brother, Quao. By 1720, they had established their reign within the Blue Mountains. This region, soon to be christened as Nanny Town, commanded a strategic position. Perched upon a 900-foot ridge overlooking the Stony River, its location rendered it nigh impervious to surprise attacks from the British, who failed to seize it despite numerous attempts. Nanny's inspiring leadership elevated her to a folk hero among the Maroons and slaves. Equal parts cunning and brave, the Maroons waged a highly successful war against the British colonial forces over a decade. Their attacks forced the British to surrender Nanny Town on several occasions, unable to permanently conquer it. But Nanny Town was more than a physical fortress. It symbolized resistance against oppressive colonial forces. Its abandonment led to the creation of New Nanny Town. Under Nanny's command, the period from 1728 and 1734, marked by the First Maroon War, witnessed frequent assaults on Nanny Town and other Maroon settlements by the British. Their aim was simple, yet brutal: halt the Maroon raids and curb the expansion of the Maroons into the interior. In an incredible display of unity in 1733, many Nanny Town inhabitants journeyed across the island to ally with the Leeward Maroons. A year later, Captain Stoddard attacked Nanny Town, who found the path to the settlement steep, rocky, and difficult, barely enough for 2 people to walk abreast. The Maroons, however, were well versed in the terrain's advantages and used decoys to trap the British into ambushes, while Captain Stoddart, as per Bryant Edwards' account, did manage to catch some Maroons off guard. Recent evidence suggests that the number of Maroons killed during this attack was minimal. Despite the adversity and danger, the Maroons stood their ground under Queen Nanny's indomitable leadership. The Maroons, under Nanny's tactical guidance, had elevated the art of warfare to a level that baffled and confounded the British. They veiled themselves so efficiently within the natural landscapes that the British were forced to believe that the trees in the forest had come alive. This was not magic, but the Maroons' skillful application of camouflage. They were blended so seamlessly into the environment that they were virtually indistinguishable from it. But their guile extended well beyond mere physical concealment. The Maroons had honed the ability to control their respiration, slowing down their breaths to such an extent that they could become virtually undetectable even to someone standing nearby. In the quiet of the forest, where even the slightest sound could give away one's location, this was an invaluable skill that strengthened their stealth. They also developed indigenous ways to start fires that were almost invisible from a distance. These stealthy fires allowed them to stay warm, cook their food, and continue their operations under darkness without alerting the British to their presence. In 1739, the British signed a treaty with Cudjoe, leading to a less favorable 1740 treaty with the Windward Maroons, including Quao, who later led Crawfordstown. This treaty didn't specify land allocation, sparking disputes between planters and Maroons of Crawfordstown, Charlestown, and Scots Hall. The Assembly of Jamaica attempted to resolve these disputes favorably for the Maroons. The same year, Nanny of Nanny Town received a separate land grant of 500 acres in Portland, leading to the formation of New Nanny Town, or Moortown. The Maroons agreed not to harbor new runaway slaves and assist the British during possible French or Spanish invasions. The British recognized two Maroon towns, Crawfordstown and Cudjoestown, with the latter renamed Trelawney Town, and eventually 5 Maroon towns emerged, all agreeing not to protect new runaway slaves, but to help capture them. It is said that Nanny's remarkable ability to resist and counter the colonial forces extended beyond mere military strategy and physical fortitude. According to the rich tapestry of Maroon oral history, her success was often attributed to her possession of supernatural powers. Legends whisper of her ability to catch bullets shot at her and return them to their source. This is something hard to believe because a normal human mind will neglect to accept it. Yet another intriguing Maroon legend asserts that any straight-haired white man who dares to venture into the original Nanny Town is immediately struck dead. This further enhances the aura of mystique surrounding Nanny, rendering her a physical and spiritual bulwark against colonial forces. While the details surrounding Queen Nanny's death are shrouded in mystery, it is widely held that she died due to natural causes in her old age around the 1760s. The ambiguity stems, in part, from the use of Nanny as an honorific, leading to many women of high rank bearing the title in Maroontown. Yet, the Maroons unequivocally assert the existence of just one true Queen Nanny, as a testament to her enduring legacy. Nanny's final resting place is believed to be Bump Grave in Moortown. The Jamaican government celebrates her extraordinary life and achievements, earning her a distinguished spot among the nation's national heroes, a group of 7, where she is the only woman. An illustrative portrait crafted from her descriptions proudly adorns the Jamaican $500 note, the highest denomination in the country's currency. So, while Nanny may have left us physically, her legacy and impact live on through the Maroons and the Jamaican people. Her unwavering bravery, resourcefulness, and leadership continue to inspire future generations. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, let us know in the comments if you want to see more videos on similar topics. Goodbye until next time.